mode, will you be able to spectate, you know, I know it's a tabletop view, but will you be able to really spectate what the commander is doing, or does it even make sense to even have ability to spectate the commander when you have tabletop?
So for now, you can see what the commander is doing tabletop.
Can we go into tabletop real fast for us, please?
So you can basically see, you see the Tomahawk right there, you see the UAV flying around there. So you can see these things using the tabletop. You can see what the different commanders are doing. To spectate a single commander, we haven't really made that into this build yet, and we don't know if that's going to come in. So, you know, we're going to give it some time. We're going to think about it, look at the feedback, and see what everyone says.
All right, so you know, I'm a big fan of this. I'm about to go on a rain of different ideas with you. Just have fun writing.
There's a lot of stuff you can do. It's fun too.
All right, so question one: wouldn't it be cool if you could only have the capability of saying, I just want to see where the infantry is. I don't want to see tanks. I don't want to see helicopters.
Yes, to apply filters, yeah. That's also something we've been thinking about. But then again, there's so much we want to do.
Yep.
So I would love to see filters for infantry, filters for vehicles, filters for team recognition, all that kind of stuff. That would be awesome. Or just like blackening out parts of the map just to show one single flag battle. That would be really cool to have. You know, make it more dynamic in a way. We'll see what happens though. You know, I know there's a few months left until launch.
Okay, and so there's other types of games that are out there that kind of have the point of view of the player, what he can see.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead into a first-person view of a player right now.
Yeah.
And when we hop on here, we have the ability, we want as much information as possible. So that's why we can see each of the icons that are out there that are designated for each team. We can see green as the squad member. So we're getting his perspective of the game right now. To a point.
Yeah, this is everything the player sees.
So, is there ever going to be a possibility, or could we talk about the idea of having a feature where we can see exactly what he sees in terms of the different player icons? So, for instance, he can't see every single defensive player, an opponent. Could we ever have that ability, or do you think that's within talk?
I think that's something we have to work on. That's some feedback we have to take a look at and, you know, work on. Because initially we thought spectating a first-person player, sure, we want to see what he sees, but we also want to include the whole context of the game into the first person. Never mind if he sees everyone or not. So I mean, it's a battle of, you know, two designs basically. We just have to overview which one makes more sense, which one doesn't make sense.
Right. So
put them together, put them in a cage and let them fight.
Exactly. So one of the things that, I mean, if I had an opinion at all, would you sit there and say all information is better than the few?
Yeah.
But having the ability to toggle between the two would be unreal.
Yeah, that would be unreal. That would be really, really good.
So
there's so much to do. So much we can do.
You can hire me for a couple of weeks if you'd like.
Oh, well,
I'm just bragging on you. and all I really want is the dice dog tags, or maybe a contractual dice employee.
We'll hook you up. Don't worry about that. You've got third person as well. The third person is basically over the back type, over the shoulder type of camera. You can move it around. You see the player card, what equipment he has. You see the ammo count. You see the health bar. See what rank he's gonna have, and all that kind of stuff. You know, all the details are important. And for more versions that are coming up, the player card you'll be able to display it in first person as well. It's not only third person, which is very important because the player card is basically your jacket. You want to see, it's like hockey cards or whatever it is.
Exactly.
You know, so, and that's third person cam.
I think that's phenomenal. One of the things to note as well for those of at home that haven't really had the chance to see third person, we can see that right now he's got a Scout Elite in his hands. We can see exactly what type of attachments. This is exactly what's in his hands currently right now. So if he switched to his pistol, we would see all the different benefits, all the different attachments that come along with the pistol. So we really are completely informed of what this player has in his inventory.
Yep. And we also have a free cam.
Yep.
You can move over to. This is our, as I said before, this is our cinematic cam. This is where you can make your movies, basically. You have 5 different place cams you place around the map. And so here's one thing that I noticed watching competitive games is that it's so difficult to follow an FPS.
Agreed.
When you watch other RTS games or MOBA games, it's very easy to follow because it's a 1 versus 1 communication. What I see is what I get.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, and it's also a top-down view for majority of the game, and you're looking at all the units, especially at 32 versus 32. It's not about the individual per se. Now there can be highlight moments from the individual, but it's definitely difficult to capture every single moment that happens.
So that's what I think. Like watching FPS, I love watching FPS as well. So I watch them a lot, and I feel attached to the experience, but I also feel detached because I cannot see what's going on everywhere, like in an RTS game. So that is also a good idea with a free cam. You have 5 different place cams. You can place them around the map. You can toggle between them, which basically gives you an arena overview. That is also good for movie makers who want to make incredible movies.
Well, so one of the things that we're seeing too, I mean, if you want to talk about your TNTs or in the U.S. side, your different sports channels that are out there, that they get that cinematic value where they sit there and do the sweeping cam view, and we can do that in this game. And a shout out to the camera guy as well, who's been controlling it all event long here at
Douglas
E3.
Yap up there. Good job.
They have been doing an incredible job. At one moment, I saw a sweeping cam where it also rotated, pivoted around a point, and it was just, I wasn't caching at the time. I would have given you a shout out at that point. But again, you just see this again. It just feels like a movie. Now, for those that are saying, well, what about that? We've got to still have a HUD up on top of the screen. We still have something that's kind of blocking our view.
Blocking our cinematic view. Oh, first off, everyone in the chat, give a shout out to Douglas and Yap, right?
Yeah, right now.
Give a shout out. So basically, everything you can toggle is you're going to be able to toggle that away. So you're going to be able to have a clean screen where you remove all the HUD, all the UI that is basically directing you and saying free cam, third person, all that stuff. You just remove that. You become a completely clean screen. You can record off of that clean screen, use traps, whatever.
Right. Will that also include the capability of toggling on and off the players as well, the icons above their head?
Yes.
So again,
that is the plan though.
So again, there's just so many different elements that your team has already covered, and it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the design, it's a very simple desigin. You know, it's not a very advanced design. You don't have 50 under tabs under what you're seeing right now. You don't have different menus for everything. It's all there. You tab around in 2 different tabs and just see what you see. And if you bring down the scoreboard, you'll be able to double click and go into first-person view.
That right there is
that's how easy it is.
Unreal. The fact that you can sit there and just switch quickly to a player. Right now, we're at one of the players who are talking.
I can't